At this time, I will call the regular meeting of the Perry City Council for Tuesday, November the 5th, 2019 to order. We have a quorum. If you will please stand with me as we have invocation and pledge of allegiance. Mayor Pro Tem King is going to do the invocation, and I would like to ask Councilman Jones to do the pledge of allegiance.
Everybody is please. Father God, we thank you for another opportunity as we come here, Lord. I pray that you continue to give us the wisdom as we handle the business of the city, Lord. I want to thank you for the administration here in the city and all the council members, Lord. I ask you to continue to bless us, Lord, because we love you and we thank you for the love that you give to us in our community. We do thank you and praise you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 4 is recognitions and presentations. Item 4A is a proclamation recognizing Small Business Saturday. Ms. Myers, can you join me down front? Oh, you got the whole board. Glad to have all of you here this evening. This is a proclamation recognizing Small Business Saturday, November the 30th, 2019. Whereas the government of Perry, Georgia celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and our community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 30.7 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all firms with paid employees in the United States and are responsible for 64.9% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2018. And whereas small businesses employ 47.3% of employees in the private sector in the United States, and whereas 94% of consumers in the United States value the contributions small businesses make to their community, and whereas 96% of consumers who plan to shop on Small Business Saturday said the day inspires them to go to small independently owned retailers and restaurants that they have not been to before or would not otherwise have tried. Whereas 92% of the companies planning promotions on Small Business Saturday said the day helps their business stand out during the busy holiday season. And whereas 595 of small business owners said Small Business Saturday contributes significantly to their holiday sales each year. And whereas Perry, Georgia supports our local businesses that creates jobs, boosts our local economy and preserves our community. And whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Randall Walker, Mayor of the City of Perry, do hereby proclaim November the 30th, 2019 as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. So proclaimed this 5th day of November in 5th day of November in the year of our Lord 2019, signed Randall Walker. And we have a plaque for you here that has been done up to be presented. So I don't know who. Hey, I know they want a picture of this, and so. Thank you very much. Any comments?
Would you want to tell them what the day is going to entail?
Yes, absolutely. So November 30th, Small Business Saturday, we're really excited to invite the community to downtown Perry. For us, every day is Small Business Saturday, but specifically on this day, we are hosting very similar to the years past. We're doing a map of downtown, all of the participating merchants, You'll pick it up from the Main Street program and the chamber. And then you'll go around to these different merchants and you'll collect a coin just for entering their shop, and then you get extra coins if you purchase something. And then for every 10 tokens or coins that you turn in, you're entered to win 300 downtown dollars. So we're really excited. There is an incentive, obviously, and we're just really excited to showcase our downtown. There's something for everyone, so we encourage you to come out and visit. We'll also have a pledge for everyone to sign saying that they choose to shop downtown and to commit to our small businesses. So we're excited.
Would you tell us who you have here with you?
Yes, sorry, I have my Main Street board here with me. We have our chairman, Trish Cossert, our vice chair, Mr. Loudermilk, Bill Loudermilk, Andrew Presswood, Jim Lay, our secretary and treasurer, and Victoria DeShazer. So,
Well, thank you for coming and joining us, and congratulations, and we encourage everybody to go down on all Saturdays and
yes.
shop, but on November the 30th, we'd encourage everybody to shop in downtown Perry. We would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us. 4B is the 2020 United Way campaign. I think that we have got some information for everybody and possibly a drawing here this evening for some prizes for employees who participated in the process. Come up.
Okay.
And just right there.
As your 2020 United Way campaign coordinator, I'd like to present our final total numbers. Contribution from city employees would be 23% increase. We had 26 employees donate a total of $4,419. That's compared to 2019's total of $3,576. That's a total increase of $843. I attribute that to some of the prizes, maybe. But at this time, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor, I'd like for you to draw the names for our three prizes.
3 prizes, okay.
So the first prize
What's it gonna be?
an Anytime Fitness membership, 1 year. Does it count?
It does.
It's me.
So you get rewarded for coming tonight.
And I said about the fire hat, didn't I? And then our second prize is a Black Card membership to Planet Fitness for 1 year.
Okay. We have James Buck.
Oh, wow.
Rig.
And our final prize is a $100 Visa gift card.
Oh. And that goes to Charles Mundy.
Wow.
So congratulations to them. Thank you. You look like you had a very successful day.
Thank you for considering.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Item 4C is presentation of a 2019 CHIP and CDBG awards that were presented to Mayor Pro Tem King end of last month over in LaGrange, Georgia. So would you come forward, Mayor Pro Tem, and I think you want the council to join you down here as well. Folks, this is a big deal, I'm telling you.
At the Georgia Department of Community Affairs Fall Conference, the city of Perry was presented with 2 checks by DCA Commissioner Christopher Nunn. The first check is the amount of $300,000 in CHIP grant, which will be used to improve 5 homes in Sand Hill community. This will complete the housing improvement we have been working on in this neighborhood since 2016. The second check is a community development block grant in the amount of $996,350, which will be used for street, drainage, and housing improvement in the section of Creekwood neighborhood, include Gaines Drive, Riley Street, Garden Street, Stanley Street, Dean View Drive, and Blair Drive. It's an honor to bring these checks to the city.
Well, thank you for representing us. And this is, as I understand it, is this our third year or fourth?
This is our third year.
Third year that we received, our grants have been approved.
Third year for the Community Development Block Grant Funds, fourth year for our CHIP funds.
Congratulations for the hard work that community development does. As I know Mr. Smith has been working on it with our GIC program here, and so it's been very, very productive for us in improving. The thing we keep talking about is the quality of life for people who live in Perry, and this is very, very important. This money goes towards improving the homes that they live in, providing them the services that they need to have a good quality of life in these neighborhoods. So thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We really appreciate you representing us over there. Thank you, gentlemen. Just a quick comment. We have a real hard-working community team that's called the GIC team, which is the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. And this funding flows out of a lot of the work that's done through that group, identifying areas and putting the areas together. Where this money, we will go out to the state and apply for it. And it's a very involved application to be selected. And I think I can be safe in saying it's rare where you get 3 years in a row. And so it's outstanding work that the people here at the city are doing, along with working with the GIC team, and I congratulate you guys for that, and we appreciate you representing us over there. Item 5 is community partner updates. Are there any community partners here that would like to update the council at this time? Thank you. Item 6 on our agenda is citizens with input. Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address council at this time? Yes, sir. Can you get your name and address, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Name Robin Jackson. I'm from the city of Perry.
Yes, sir.
And I'd like to congratulate you for the mayor victory. And I also want to address the council. And as far as the issue which I was going to address when I was mayor, as far as this utility bill that you get coming out. Now, they saying that on the day of cutoff, if you don't be down here by 8:30, even though it had not been cut off, they're going to still cut it off. I mean, you have to still pay the cutoff fee. Now, when did that policy start? And also, they doing this with the cable company that you have in the city of Perry, ComSoft. They're coming with the same concept. I don't think that it's right as far as you haven't been informed as to when this will start and when did it start?
I can't address the cable company because I don't know what their policies are, since they're an independent, or, you know, they're their own business. And so, but our policy, Mr. Gilmore?
The current policy that Mr. Jackson's talking about is probably about 6 months old. It was approved by council. It came about from the fact that you did not have people paying their utility bills on time. They had the extra week or so after when it was due and noticed that they had the cutoff and they still weren't coming in, and then they would come in after we had to send out the meter readers to do the cutoff, or they saw the meter readers coming in the neighborhood, and then they decided to come in and pay. So council, the recommendation to council, which is agreed with, is if you don't have it paid by that last day, then you're gonna have that $50 charge.
Did you all send a letter out to the customers, to the citizens?
It was posted down there, and customers are advised about it if they have any type of delay or financial problems, like they're late paying or whatever the case may be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the information. Any other citizens who would like to address council at this time? Thank you. Item 7 is review of the minutes. Item 7A is council consideration of the minutes for October the 15th, 2019 pre-council meeting and the October the 15th, 2019 council meeting. Mayor Pro Tem King was absent on October the 15th, both for the pre-council meeting and the council meeting. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes that have been presented.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes to the minutes that have been provided? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes, please raise your right hand. Please let the record show that the minutes were approved, and Mayor Pro Tem King abstained from the vote. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Item 8 is old business. 8A is old business from the mayor. I have none. 8B is old business from the council members. Mr. Jones?
No.
Mr. Hunt?
No,
Mr. Jackson?
No, sir.
Mr. King?
No, sir.
Thank you. Item 8C is any old business from the city manager, Mr. Gilmore.
No, sir?
8D is any old business from the assistant city manager, Mr. Smith.
No, sir.
And 8E is any old business from the city manager, Mr. Bertolucci.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 9 is new business. 9A is matters referred from November the 4th, 2019 work session and the November the 5th, 2019 pre-council meeting that we had prior to this meeting. Item 9A1 is the approval of the 2020 LMIG street resurfacing list. Mr. Wood, you're going to do that for us this evening?
Yes, sir. Mayor, members of council, as we discussed last night, there are 4 streets on the proposal for resurfacing in the 2020 LMIG program. If it will come up, I can tell you what they are. So there are 4 streets, as I mentioned. The first street is that is recommended is Keith Drive from Main Street to Kings Chapel. Also Smith Drive from Hampton Court to W.F. Reagan Drive. 4th Street from Parkway Drive to Swift Street, and Kelwood Drive from Courtney Hodges Boulevard to Oak Ridge Drive. All of those streets were recommended based on need and traffic volumes, and the estimated cost would be within what we anticipate for funding from the state as well as our match.
Is there any questions, Mr. Wood, relative to the LMIG for 2020? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion that we accept the list that has been presented and based upon our discussions last night.
So moved.
Second. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that it is approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 9A2 is approval to proceed with the city technology upgrades as outlined in Mr. Smith's memo dated November the 4th, 2019. Mr. Smith?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Mayor and Council, following up on our discussions last night pertaining to technology here at the city, you have before you tonight a number of recommendations compiled by both staff working with our managed IT service provider Hargrave in regards to how we can get our technology situation or environment here at the city to where it needs to be. There are a number of issues that have to be addressed, and the proposals do address those thoroughly. There are also a couple of additional recommendations in regards to how we might be able to have better processes here at the city, including enhanced security. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about them.
What questions you have for Mr. Smith at this time? And I understand that this is grouped in 4 different groupings, and we're looking at 4 different offers, but
Yes, sir.
all of them will be voted on as one package.
That is correct. There are 4 proposals. One is a core network refresh, one is a workstation refresh, one is a server refresh, and the other is a enhanced managed security.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If there's no questions for Mr. Smith, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the upgrade as recommended in Mr. Smith's memo.
So
Second. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that it was passed unanimously. Item 9A3 is the approval to proceed with a water natural gas meter changeout program as recommended by ESG Operations Incorporated. Mr. Gilmore?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Mayor and council, on your packet, and it was talked about last night, the city needs to start a replacement program for its water and natural gas meters. They are approaching or are past, slightly past 10 years, so now their quality may start to decline. It's recommended to do the replacement. We have a large number of meters that have to be replaced because 10 years ago we did a significant revamp of all our meters to make them radio read. As we talked about yesterday, the recommendation from administration to you is to contract with ESG and have them replace the meters at approximately $500,000 a year. The funding for this will take about 5 years to accomplish. The funding for that will come from set aside depreciation monies in the water and sewer fund, some SPOS monies, and maybe some slight increases to the customers over the years.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. Any questions from Mr. Gilmore relative to the changeout procedure for the water and natural gas meters? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation from staff relative to the changeout of these meters.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that this passed unanimously. Item 4 is resolution for consideration and adoption. The 4A is a resolution to amend City of Perry Personnel Management System to provide for an adjustment in holiday pay. Mr. Gilmore?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and council, as we talked about yesterday, the administration is recommending we make an adjustment to the holiday pay. Currently, all full-time employees receive 8 hours holiday pay, whether they are scheduled to work or not. The administration is recommending that for those employees, primarily public safety, that have longer shifts and have to work in that 24-hour period, that they would be paid at the holiday rate for their entire shift. So, for example, if you had a police officer coming on and she had to work 12 hours for that holiday, then instead of getting the current 8 hours for holiday pay, she would get 12 hours pay. Per our policy, the holiday pay does not count towards overtime, but the administration believes that it's appropriate that if an employee has to work for any of that holiday period, then they should be compensated for it.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from Mr. Gilmore relative to this change in the holiday pay? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution that's been presented by Mr. Gilmore relative to the change in the Perry Personnel Management System.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Thank you. Please let the record show the resolution was passed unanimously. Excuse me, I'm reading and trying to talk at the same time. We have a change in 9A. Coming out of our pre-council meeting this evening, there was a discussion relative to an air conditioning unit here in the building. So that has been added to the agenda. So that is going to be 9A5. And this is the award of a replacement for a 5-ton air conditioning unit here in City Hall. Mr. Smith?
Mayor, Mayor and council, again, apologies for the late notice on this. As you are aware, the HVAC unit that serves the bottom quadrant over here at City Hall is broken. It is not fixable. Therefore, we went out and we solicited 4 known providers, including 2 local providers, to provide replacement units. We received 3 responsive quotes on that. You have it before you, and we are recommending going with the low bidder, which is Truman's Air Conditioning and Heating, for $6,229. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
What questions do you have of Mr. Smith relative to the replacement of the air conditioning unit? Hearing none at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid that has been for the 5-ton air conditioning unit here in City Hall.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Thank you. Please let it show that the bid was approved unanimously. Item 9B is the award of bids. 9B1 is bid number 2020-10, and it's for the World Community Center flooring replacement. Mr. Worthington?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Bid 2020-10 was for the replacement of the majority of the flooring in the Laurel Community Center. We followed all of our normal processes in advertising this bid and contacting all of our registered vendors. We received 3 responsive bids ranging from $28,996.90 to $36,323. It would be staff's recommendation that we would award this to the lowest responsive bidder, who was Clean and Restore LLC, and that was in the amount of $28,996.90. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Worthington. What questions do you have for Mr. Worthington relative to the replacement of the floor at the World Center? Hearing none at this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the bid as has been presented for the replacement of the floor at the World Community Center.
So.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that the bid was accepted unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Worthington.
Thanks, sir.
Item 9C is resolutions for consideration and adoption. 9C1 is resolution to update the Georgia Fund 1 account. Ms. Key.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The resolution that you have before you in your package is to update the authorized signers and contact information for the water, gas general, and, water, gas general accounts for the Georgia Fund 1 accounts.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. King relative to the Georgia 1 account? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation from staff relative to the Georgia Fund account at this time.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that it was approved unanimously. 9D is council approval of a restated defined benefits retirement program. Mr. Gilmore?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, in your packet is a summary of the amendments. The Georgia Municipal Association administers our defined benefit retirement plan. They are requesting its members to sign off on some changes to the plan that have either come about as a result of federal or state legislation or actions that have been approved by the Board of Trustees. It has no effect relative to our retirees or the process, and we would recommend the council to authorize.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. What questions do you have, council, of Mr. Gilmore relative to the defined benefits plan? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommended changes in the defined benefit plan as presented by Mr. Gilmore.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Please let the record show that it was approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 9E is special events application. 9E1 is the Perry Main Street Program and Promotions Committee. Downtown Merchants Council is hosting Holiday on Carol on December the 7th. Ms. Myers?
Yes, Mayor and Council, the Perry Main Street Program and Promotions Committee is hosting Holiday on Carol on December 7th. It'll be following the annual Christmas parade, which is done by an outside organization. The Perry Main Street Program will be hosting pictures with Santa on the courthouse lawn and fire truck rides around the perimeter, sponsored by the Perry Fire Department. Our hope is to encourage visitors to stay after the parade, explore, and shop downtown Perry. We're requesting the approval of this event to be hosted in downtown historic Perry, and also the road closure of 800 block of Carroll, since that is a one-way. That is where the pedestrians and participants will load on safely onto the antique fire truck, which is what we've used in years past for this event. And then officers will be strategically placed to assist with normal traffic control for the fire truck route around the courthouse lawn. We're also requesting, obviously, the approval to use the antique fire truck and then assistance from Public Works to help us set up the event as well. Those road closures just for that 800 block of Carroll will begin at 8 a.m. and close at 2 p.m. They'll begin at 8 a.m. so that it's closed prior to the parade because this event follows directly and we don't want to have those cars there and moving with pedestrians just for safety purposes. We will alert all of the downtown merchants and hopefully doing it this way will decrease the impact of road closures for our merchants as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What questions do you have relative to the special event holiday on Carroll? Hearing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation from staff relative to the special events application.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Please let the record show that it passed unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Meyer.
Thank you.
Item 10 is council member items. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Mayor, one item. Today is an election in the city of Perry, and I would first like to congratulate my fellow council members King and Hunt on their re-elections and say that it's been an honor to serve with you both, and I'm very glad that I will have the opportunity to continue to serve with you. To Councilman Jackson, I would like to say it's been an honor to serve with him. He's a fellow District 2 representative, and I will miss serving with him come the new year. But we do have 4 very fine individuals who are running for his vacated seat. 2 of whom are here tonight, Mr. Jimmy McLeod, Mr. Gary Millay, and also Mr. Joy Peterson, and Mr. Jack James. And I know that each one of them will do a fine job, and I want to thank them for being willing to get out and campaign and shake hands and look people in the eye. It takes time, it takes commitment, it takes courage to do that. And I appreciate their efforts, and I look forward to serving with the person that the people of District 2 choose to represent them. And lastly, I would also like to congratulate Dr. Darrell Albritton on his election to District 3. Dr. Albritton has been a friend and mentor to me and to a lot of people, a lot of students in this town for a long time. And I know that he will do an excellent job representing the people of Perry. And it'll be a privilege to get to sit next to him. The side is a little lonely tonight, as you know. Looking forward to that. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Mr. Hunt? Mr. Jackson? Mr. King? Mr. Gilmore?
No, sir.
Mr. Smith?
One item, Mayor. We are in the throes of Fall Cleanup Week. This is an event we host every year. It's hosted by the City of Perry Public Works Department, and it's essentially an amnesty week. So if you're looking to get rid of anything, do some fall cleaning, that type of stuff, put it out by the road and we'll pick it up. Even things we typically don't pick up, like tires, chemicals, paint, that type of stuff, we will pick it up. So we encourage you to do some cleaning. And again, we'll be picking stuff up on our regular schedule, but if you put stuff out a little bit later in the week, we'll be coming back by to pick things up. If you have any questions, you can contact Perry Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Ms. Judy? Okay. Thank you. Item 11 is department head items. Ms. Warren, anything from the city clerk's office? Ms. King, anything additional from you? Mr. Wood?
Yes, sir, I do have 3 items here.
Thank you.
First off, I'd like to let everyone know that this Saturday, the 9th, as sort of a culmination to the Perry Cleanup Week, is the neighborhood cleanup event that we will be hosting at Creekwood Park. We'll start at 9 o'clock. We'll convene at the Creekwood Park Pavilion at 9 o'clock, and then we'll kind of work in cleaning up the neighborhood around Creekwood Park, where we've received these funds to start making improvements. And it'll finish up about 12:30, and we'll have lunch for everybody that participated, and look forward to having a big crowd out to help clean up the community. Secondly, as we kind of discussed last night, the city of Perry continues to grow. I'm sure everybody sees it. We have exceeded the number of permits that we have as our best year ever 2 years ago with 350. As of the end of October, we were at 404 new single-family residential permits issued, and we still have 2 months to go. So A lot of things happening here in Perry. And finally, I just wanted to point out that also at the DCA conference in October, we received a plaque for our first year recertification for the revitalization area strategy. That is a plan that we work on to deal with housing issues in areas in the city that need housing, need attention with housing. And in getting that recertified was one of the ways that we were able to obtain these funds. So congratulations to everyone that was part of that.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Mr. Smith, anything from Public Works that you want to share this evening?
No, sir.
Mr. Worthing?
Nothing further.
Ms. Turpin, anything from the
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. As Mayor and Council is already aware, I just wanted to let the public and our department heads know, we did get approved for the Vibrant Communities grant that we applied for. So for our Perry International Festival that we're going to be hosting next year on March 21st, we do have an additional $5,000 of funding from the state for that. So we are really excited to bring some diverse acts to Perry. We encourage all of you guys to come out. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always good to have cash flow. Ms. Clark, anything from our communications director?
No, sir, nothing.
Ms. Meyer?
Yes. Mayor and Council, this is just an announcement that next week WALB out of Albany will be in our downtown filming over 15 of our different merchants in their downtown stores to create commercials for each of those merchants, and they will be airing up to the 44 lower counties from November to the end of December for the holiday season to increase tourism, attraction, and all that we have to offer down here in Perry. So our merchants are very excited about it. We were honestly aiming for about 4 to 8 participants, and we have about 16. So it doubled. We're very excited. We're creating 4 different commercials, each with 20-second different spots. And then those merchants will also be able to use their specific promotional pieces as much as they want over social media, web, digital. So we're very excited to be promoting the city of Perry and our downtown to a whole new realm of people. So thank you.
Congratulations. That can give us a great deal of exposure in South Georgia. Hope those folks will come and shop with us. Chief Lynn?
There's nothing nice, sir. I can't compete with that.
Parker?
Nothing nice, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mayor, I do have one other item I failed to mention.
Yes,
if I may. As you know, and the public may not, the Community Development Department has relocated to 741 Main Street. That is the old Department of Labor building that's been vacant or used for storage for I don't know how many years. We have had the opportunity, thanks to council, to do some renovations there and get the Community Development Department, the Fire Marshal, and the Main Street Coordinator, who is now under Community Development, relocated there. And we will be having a grand opening and open house on Friday, November 22nd. That will be at 11 o'clock that morning, and then kind of open house the rest of the day. And everyone's invited to stop by and see our new digs.
Thank you. We'll look forward to that. Item 12 is general public items. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that would like to address council at this time? Yes, sir. Can I have your name and address?
Jim Lay, 807 Washington Street.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say to council and public works, and the cleanup is incredible. So I just want to say that I put a lot of things out by the roadside, paint, some batteries, things that weren't listed, and they all disappeared Monday, the day of my pickup. I know I talked to some of my friends that don't live around here on this. You do it, I think, twice a year, and they can't believe it. They say, "Are you kidding me?" I just want to say thank you. I look forward to the next one.
Thank you very much. And that also represents the superior service that we want to provide here in the city of Perry for our citizens. And so another example of that. And thank you very much for your comments. Anyone else like to address council at this time? Yes.
Kelly Lauderdale, Perry Area Historical Society. I just would like to thank you for cleaning up Evergreen Cemetery for the War of 1812 grave marking that happened on Saturday. The cemetery just looked beautiful. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we can thank Ms. Fitzner and her team. I think they did an outstanding job. I was very impressed with the work that they had done out there. So it did look great for the gifts that we had there on Saturday morning. So thank you for all your work on that as well. Appreciate that. Anyone else like to address council at this time? Thank you. Item 13 is the mayor items. I have about a couple of things I'd like to review with you. Tomorrow is the State of the Community meeting. It's held by the Chamber. And there will be 4 representatives, myself, Colonel Moore from the Air Force Base, Angie Giesling, and Chairman Stonecker will be the panel that Larry Walker will be asking questions about our community. It starts at 11:30, and I would encourage, if anyone would like to attend, I think there's tickets still available. I'm not sure. Are they sold out? Sorry. I didn't know they were sold out. But that will be held tomorrow, and they will film it, so look for it. So want to make sure that everybody remembers the neighborhood cleanup at Creekwood on Saturday. That's a very rewarding opportunity to get out in the neighborhood and talk to people that are working really, really hard to clean up their parks and their neighborhoods. And so I'll be there with Mr. Wood, and so we'll be working to get that done. Encourage anybody who would like to come if you want to come for an hour, that'll be fine. We'll be there from, I guess, 9 to 12 is typically what time, so encourage you to do that. Just remind everybody that our next meeting will be November the 18th. It'll be a work session right here in this room at 5 p.m. November the 19th, we'll have pre-council and council that night. Pre-council's at 5 upstairs. Council meeting is here at 6 p.m. and all of our meetings are open to the public, and appreciate all of you attending. If there's nothing else to come before us this evening, we will stand adjourned.